Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
So we're all relaxing now after the Yamim Noraim, well, the first half of them, if you will. But sometimes I feel at this point of the year a little bit like a used car salesman, where I come up to people and I say, what's it going to take to get you in this sukkah this year? Yeah, and people sort of make that little grimacy face of, but Rabbi, you know, a sukkah, a sharp intake of breath, usually through the side of the mouth. I'm not sure if I can do a sukkah this year, Rabbi. Why not? Why not? What's holding you? Well, I don't have much of a yard, Rabbi. The neighbors, the HOA requirements. I'm very, very busy. My boss is sending me on a trip. I'm not sure if I can do a sukkah this year. And me, being the helpful person that I am, I say, well, if your yard's not that big, that's okay. You can make a sukkah very small. You can make a sukkah the size of this table, half the size of this table. I don't have any place to store the material. You don't need to store the materials. You can make it collapsible, make it out of PVC pipe. You can get a pop-up sukkah, just a little tent, throw some schach on top. I mean, even like one of those little baby pup tents could work. And as long as you got a hole on the top and you throw some branches up there, you've got a sukkah. Yeah, but the HOA's like, what are they going to do? Complain about your religious freedom? That's all the rage nowadays. You got a lawsuit waiting for you. You could do that. And as I go on to explain just how easy it is to build a sukkah, I notice something. They become equally resistant to the idea of building a sukkah. There is this very strange trick that the Yetzer Hara plays on us. The first time when we want to do something that is either new or looks like it might be a little difficult in Judaism, or any other aspect of our life that we consider to be a challenge, the Yetzer Hara, that evil inclination, goes, it's too hard. It's too hard, impossible, too hard. You don't have time, it's too expensive, you don't have the skills, you don't know what you're doing, you're just going to make a fool of yourself. Don't bother. You can't. And if we push through it, or you've got a pushy rabbi, and you begin to realize, okay, maybe it's not too hard. Maybe I could do it. In fact, if it's really just as simple as a little square tent, I could make that and throw some branches on top. The Yetzer Hara says, oh, I see, it's that easy. It's insignificant then. It's unimportant. What is the possible value of doing a mitzvah if it is that easy? Right? A mitzvah, that has to be work. It has to be effort. It has to be strenuous. It should nearly break you so that when you finally reach the end of performance, you are an emotional, physical, spiritual wreck. The sweat is draining off of you. That's doing a mitzvah. If it's as easy as just throwing up a tent and a branch over the top, hardly worth doing. You see how this is a no-win situation? Right? Because if it's either too hard, then you won't do it, or if it's too easy, it's not worth doing. The end result is the same. And of course, that's the Yetzer Hara's goal. Right? Our evil inclination, which is not exactly a cackling, mustache-twirling villain, but is still going to lead us away from doing things that often would be for our best, still wins by having us do nothing, by having us remaining inert, unmoved. And it's got us coming and going, which is the beauty of its strategy. And how much of our life, beyond the building of a sukkah, does the Yetzer Hara play that same game? You say to yourself, you know what? I'd really like to run a marathon. And what does the Yetzer Hara tell you? What are you, nuts? Have you looked in the mirror lately? You're not going to be able to get past the first mile without a heart attack. And let's imagine you finally begin to look into it and you look at the different techniques for building up to running a marathon. And eventually you realize, okay, hold on. So if I just try to run like 100 yards the first day and 200 yards the next day, and not even run the whole time, just a brisk walk. And maybe walk for a minute, run for a minute, walk for a minute, run for a minute. And I build up, over the course of 6 months, maybe a year, a little bit at a time, 10, 15, 20 minutes a day maybe, or even just 30 minutes a week. There are lots of schedules out there that can take you step by step, and you can run a marathon. Now, I haven't, but I know many people who have. People who you never would have thought would be running marathons. But I also know many other people who look at it, and now, And they say, there are all these apps that can help you do it. There's no accomplishment. Running a marathon is easy. Look, even that person ran a marathon. Why should I bother trying to run a marathon? See how quickly that flipped? At first it was too hard, now it is too easy. The same thing with getting into shape in any other form. I want to get better at a particular sport. I want to get better at a particular exercise. I want to get my heart in good shape. If you make it easy enough to make it manageable, then it no longer becomes significant enough to be worth your time. How many times do we have dreams? Oh, I'd like to learn a new language. I'd like to travel to a foreign country. I'd like to begin my own business. And they all seem so far away that they are safe because we never worry about us actually taking steps to do it. And as soon as it gets close enough and becomes real or possible, we chicken out and decide, that place has become a tourist trap now. Or, well, yes, of course I could learn that language, but it's not really worth my time. Time and time again. When things are presented that we wish we could do, we prefer them to be too hard to do. Or failing that, so easy to do that they no longer seem compelling. Judaism is not built off that. It is, of course, the counter to the Yetzer Hara. Judaism doesn't say, do it because it's hard and it'll break you, and by the time you reach the top of that mountain, you will know you have accomplished it. Judaism says, do it because it's right. Do it because it's what God asked you to do. Do it because, cumulatively, for both you and the society around you, things will be better from all of these little actions that you do. Whether they are hard or whether they are easy, as Nike says, just do it. And that is the ultimate response to the Yetzer Hara. I'm not doing this because it's hard. I'm not doing this because it's easy. I'm doing this because I know that doing it is better than not doing it. And the fact that it happens to be that in Judaism, the performance of the mitzvot is something that is always possible if we are careful and look deeply into what is actually needed, not the marquee version of a particular mitzvah, but just the bare minimums of what God has actually asked us to do for our different deeds. Yeah, we can do that. Don't let the Yetzer Hara fool you. You are capable of more than you think, and things that may seem insignificant are more valuable than you can imagine. Allow yourself to be guided by Torah. Allow yourself to build a sukkah, even if it is a shvach sukkah with just a little schach. It is still the performance of a mitzvah. One more deed, one more step, one more link in bringing you closer to God. Let that be the reward. Let that be the incentive. Difficulty, ease. It's unimportant. One step at a time. Shabbat Shalom and an early Chag Sameach.